Good morning, everybody. I am here. I don't have the microphone in because both the phones were just about dead, so I have them plugged in as I'm recording. So if the volume is a little low, I'll try to adjust later, but that's what's going on. Anyway, I wanted to come with you. We are going to be shaping the back braces on this guitar. Now, as you can see, I have one of them shaped. So this one right here is shaped, and the other three are not. So we're going to go over how we take this to this. Now this is fairly simple. There's not much to this. This is very simple, and then we're going to go over attaching this to the rib structure of the guitar. Now, you will notice that I don't have the back reinforcements in. I actually put those in after I glue the plate on nowadays, just because if I'm going to glue them in, I'm going to do it all at once. I don't glue in these end ones until the blocks, until the ribs are in place and the blocks are there, and then I can get them perfect. Because as many times as I try to measure that, and I go to glue them on, and somehow the plate shifts and something goes wrong, I just finally said enough is enough. I'm doing it this way, and it turns out fine every time. So anyway, so let's go over this. So we're going to go from square blocky, which is how I glue them in, into a nice finish. You can see it's got a nice curvature on it right there. Got the ends are tapered down, and we are going to go from there. So we're going to set you down here, and you will see here on our other camera that we've got a nice blocky deal here. Now I have gone through, see if this camera will pick it up. I have gone through, and there is, whoops, wrong side. I'll show you this side, and you'll actually be able to see it. There is a little mark on each one of these braces. That is the height that I will be going to, and then there's two other marks near about 3 inches in from the ends, and those are the scalloping marks. That's where I take the scallops to. And so between those two, that's how we get everything set up. So first off, we're going to take and set this here. Actually, I'm going to flip it around. That way it's easier for me because I am right-handed, and so my head is to this side so I can see that mark better. So basically, I might do some speed up on this because we just take a plane and I have it set at a fairly coarse curl, and we are just going to start planing all of this off. You can see I'm getting a lot of curls, and I might even take and set that curl just a little thicker because we are just getting rid of height. So we can have a nice coarse curl. And as I'm doing this, I am watching, both ends, make sure that I'm not, taking more off one side than the other. Also trying to hold this flat to the plate. Doesn't always, it kind of starts to go to one angle for whatever reason. Sometimes you kind of have to stop and double check what you're doing. Now, could you take this to a closer height before you glue these in? Yes, for sure. I just like doing it this way because then I don't have any dents in the top of my bracing from the go bars, because sometimes they just dent. So I'm just looking at the side of this, looking down that side profile, make sure we have a nice square block, or at least close to square. It's not going to matter too much because if you look here, we're going to taper the sides and round the top. So even if this isn't perpendicular, or 90 degrees or parallel with the back plate, it's not going to matter much because we're going to take it up to kind of a point. We just want it close. Now, there are different styles of bracing for the back. You'll see that these are all 4 fairly uniform braces. This is to give you a more responsive or resonant back, which is definitely not, for every guitar. I like them on the smaller bodies, OMs, folk models, parlors, that type of stuff, because you're going to get a warmer sound, kind of more, some people call it woody. We're going into adjectives now that have nothing to do with sound. More of kind of a mid-range, more kind of overtones. Take some of the the brightness or the trebles out of this plate. Now you will notice these are all fairly kind of tall, because I do want them, you know, I do want them fairly rigid, but I want them light. And that's definitely not, you know, every guitar maker is going to have their own thing. One guy's going to say, oh no, you got to have a really heavy back, you know, and get that really reflective plate. You don't want it to resonate at all, you know, that type of thing. And that's, you know, it's a different tone. It's a different sound. I'm not going to say one is right and one is wrong, because I think they're both correct. And it really just depends on the sound you are particularly looking for. Now, see, these coarse threads do just a beautiful little curl on these, and it's so fun, this part. So I'm just going through real quick, just hogging off the height, getting rid of this extra height on these. You're gonna see this goes pretty quick. This one, for whatever reason, I definitely probably could have taken some off before I glued it in. It's a little extra tall. That's okay. I'm getting close already. Almost there. And to the mark. So see, it doesn't really take that long to hog off that, you know, because we're not looking for, I'm going to sand all these, so I don't need it to be like a perfectly, you know, thin shaving. I need, you know, material taken off. Take all these shavings, throw them in the pan here real quick. Clear off the radius. Now I am working in a radius dish, so as you see, when I let go of this, the plate pops up. That's because the braces are only radiused in this direction, of course. And so the plate doesn't hold that curve when you let go. That plate wants to be flat this way. And but that's okay. That's okay. Okay, so now we're gonna take, I have my marks here now. You can see about the 3 inches, a little dot there. And that's the mark of the start of my scalloping. Now I just take a chisel, and we're just gonna get rid of the bulk of it here real quick. There again, like I said, just hogging material off. Getting it close, just like that. We're just gonna go through and do all of those real quick. And some guys like to pre-shape all these before they go on, which is definitely, I see it, especially back bracing, where you're just kind of looking for a general, you know, general number, general height. You know, I could totally see pre-shaping these and gluing them in. Like, I can understand that. I really like to carve bracing. It's fun. So, I glue them in big. And you see, I got, you know, big chips now, because like we're just getting rid of material. This is all material that is not going to be part of the brace. I'm going to flip it around, and now I got to look for my mark. And I'll start right on my mark, and then I know where I can go to. You see these braces have a nice split because they are just popping. Hit my lamp. That was that great Belding. And one more. Right there. Now I'm going to be spending the next 20 minutes after I do this picking all the wood chips up off the floor. That's okay. All right. So there's the main scalloping done. All right. Now we're going to do a little more roughing in. We're going to start the tapering. So if we look at this one, you'll see that nice tapered profile. Let's see if I can get it in the right. There we go. See that nice rounded top profile? These are nice and blocky and square. And so now we're gonna I take a pencil and I look at that brace and I go, right there looks like a good halfway point. And just mark me a faint little line across there. Adjust it as I go just a little bit. Okay, now I kind of have me a center line. And the reason I like just kind of giving me a rough center line is so that when I'm planing like this, with this little plane, then I kind of have an idea of where I'm going. And that way I don't end up with a lopsided looking brace. Just like that. There's one side. Flip it around. Okay, and there's that. So now we are planed into a pretty close approximation to that. Now we will take and sand this down with the others. So I'm going to real quick go through and shape the rest of these. Maybe the other two at least anyway. Okay. Okay, so now we're roughed in, get that all tapered up. Now we're gonna start sanding, and we just got a nice, foam sanding block. We got some sandpaper. This is just some sticky back stuff, real small strip. And now we're just gonna take that and we're just gonna start sanding. Just smoothing that up. This isn't going to take much because the plane doesn't, there's not much of a rough texture to take care of. We're just kind of blending, making that a nice smooth curve across there. Flip it around. Round over that top now that I got the sides smoothed up. Not much to it. Last one. All right, there we go. So now we have to get rid of more chips. Now I got to thickness these ends and feather in the ends, and we are all but done. So I talked about in the top one, this is my little brace thinning rig that I use. So it's just a Dremel with this like tile connection, whatever. I just cut these out so I can fit the brace in between it. And so now when I come down on it, there's a gap between the bit and the bottom there, and that is, if I can get the gap, you can kind of see it. That's the thickness of these braces. Oh, already did the bottom one. Okay. Now we have this nice little lip I got to get rid of. And I do that with this little plane right here. It has a curved bottom. So now I can just start planing. And just plane that. We get a nice smooth surface, just like that. Got rid of that transition. All right, and this one, and you can see this is a lot of just the same step, just in repeat. Okay, now I'm going to sand just a little bit. Just getting for whatever reason, the grain or something isn't working with me. It's getting kind of a chatter. So rather than trying to force it, I'll just sand it. See, that one worked fine. There we go. Clearing chips out of the plane. More. Okay. Little piece of sandpaper away, and that one will be done. Last one. Give me that chatter business right here too. Okay. All right. So now we take our sandpaper. And just give that a light little sanding. All right. So I hadn't sanded those yet. Let's get those sanded real quick. Like, oh, I got a little bit of a lip stare still there. Let's go ahead and just see if I can fine tune that out. All right. And there we go. So that's the back braces all shaped and ready to go. You can see they all look nice and everything's got the same kind of taper on the edges. We got that, everything comes into the nice scallop. And now this is ready to glue on to the back. So let's actually tell you what. I'm gonna stop this one here. I will show you one thing though real quick. So I'll show you from the last video, I did get that top brace glued in, so you can see it done. Now this is for structure. Basically, it helps support that fretboard extension and, you know, keeps things from like sloughing down in here. So that is you can see there's the piece there all glued in. So, and I do use my laser cutter and I put my logo and the day that I put this in, so that gives it kind of a date. And anyway, so now this is ready to go too. I also put in that center support right there, so this is all ready to glue in. So now that the back and sides are ready to glue, I will get everything set up, and I will show you gluing the back and the top on in the same video. So hope you all enjoyed that. I was gonna kind of do the gluing on today, but I think I'll wait that and do that own video and show you both plates. So you'll be able to watch me do this on a previous video where I shaped these braces. It is a little bit longer. I haven't edited yet, but when you see this, I will have edited it. You will have seen it already. Anyway, so this was the video before. This is the video today. And we will glue this onto the rib structure and then put in the center reinforcement on the back and then pull out the mold structure. And then we'll put this on and we will have a guitar body. Now we will just have to add binding and other things from there, but if you do want to watch that, please hit the like, hit the subscribe, all those good things down at the bottom. Make a comment. If you like to do it differently, let me know. Make a comment. I'd love to see, because there's so many ways to do this job and things to deal in this that I love hearing other people's opinions. I know some other guys and I know they do them a lot different ways. This is just kind of the way that I learned to do it. Kind of by myself, because I learned from out of the violin world, and so my coming into this is a lot different than the guitar world. So there is a lot of guys that are going to just take and pre-shape all of these things and throw it in and go from there. So anyway, I hope y'all like that. Like I said, like, subscribe, y'all be kind to each other, and we'll see you on the next one.